So tonight we're adding something else to the camper. We found some of these vinyl graphics that we really thought were neat camping ideas or statements. And so I'm putting one up here on the wall where we did have our dry erase board. So you can see I have two pieces on already. Now this is one real tall graphic, so I'm cutting it in strips. This way I can also fit it, you know, nicely around the valance and things. So if you've never installed a vinyl graphic before, you can order them on Amazon really easily. You can customize them. There's places that do all types of vinyl lettering. Do-it-yourself-lettering.com is a good source where you can do mailboxes, signs like this, anything you're looking for. I've had real good success with them. So this one I got off of Amazon. It was already a pre-developed saying with graphics. So what it is you have a contact paper and a backing, and all you really do is you slowly want to separate the backing from the vinyl, making sure the vinyl stays with the top sheet or the contact paper. It's best if you try to pull them at a 90-degree angle, nice and slow, because you may find spots where a certain letter, like an I or a J or a graphic that has a point, will start to peel. So what we have here is, you know, eat s'mores, explore, go fishing, and we're going to add this to the wall. So once we get the sheet separated, be careful it doesn't go back on itself, and you're ready to apply to the wall. You can use a credit card, you can use a squeegee like I have here. This is a hard plastic, but semi-solid. The edges are flexible. Squeegee to get everything on there and give it a nice pressure against the wall. You don't want to, you don't want to have something that's going to have an edge. Like if you use a credit card, make sure you don't get it too flat, that you end up having that edge with the numbers scratching your piece. So there's another piece. Now what we have is I've had to flatten the top because, you know, when it's shipped to you, sometimes it's in a roll. So make sure it gets pretty flat before you use it. Now this is the top piece here. Now we want to make sure we get it around the door and we have room. So it looks like I should just trim it here a little bit so I can work with the door and keep everything pretty well aligned. Okay, so we're going to quick do that. What's nice about these large graphics is if you find that it's too big to work with, you can cut it nice and easily. Use just a regular pair of household scissors. This is just like cutting through 2 or 3 sheets of paper. It doesn't stick to the scissors. It makes it really easy to work with. Now here you can see we have a lot of these points. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to make sure that that's rubbed onto the paper pretty well before I peel it off the backing. And that gives it a little bit more fresh contact right there, hopefully making it easier to peel. Again, just take your time. The more you do this, the easier you'll be at it. And if it's fresh cut, if it's a custom vinyl, you'll find that those are more sensitive to peeling. But if it's a fabricated vinyl, you know, that is like more mass produced, you'll find that will often peel nice and easy for you and stay to the contact paper. And whether you're doing a wall or a mailbox, application's still the same. Okay, so we'll do the last piece here, and then we'll make sure everything's pressed on really well. Okay, so now that we have them all on, we want to just go back and forth over the whole set with good even pressure, making sure it's nice and even. If you have any large areas of graphic, like a solid graphic, for example like this fish, you want to work that out towards the edges of the fish, so that way if there's any air bubbles underneath that portion of the graphic, it will push out. I already pushed this bottom one on pretty good before, so now the patience part pays off again. You want to peel this outer layer, but you want to do it at a real hard angle right now, because the harder the angle, the easier it'll be for it to separate from the vinyl on the wall and leave you a good result. But if you see that letter starting to peel up, just come back and press it on and then work your way around. It's best if you're never, for like the letters, it's best if you're never right up against where the edge is, but if you're pulling at an angle to it. So anywhere there's a vertical line, we don't want to be pulling so it creates that vertical. That'll give you a better chance of it staying in one piece. You can just work your way around in a circle. If you get yourself to a pinch point, so like right here, this line started to come off, right? So there we go. Take our time. Okay, but now that it's off, I always like to take this other piece that we peeled from. It's nice and smooth. And we can put this over top and we can press again, because in the process of peeling the backing, you may actually loosen it from the wall a little bit, and you don't want that to then dry, because then your letter will fall off and you'll be like, oh man, why'd my letter fall off? Well, you always want to make sure that you put pressure back on it after you get this removed, and that way it really secures it to the wall. One thing I didn't mention is before you get started, plan your layout. Look at it, where you want it. Make sure you have a clean wall surface. I cleaned with some rubbing alcohol to make sure that the wall was free of any fingers, finger oil. We had a dry erase board here, so there was adhesive where those backers were. So we're just going to take our time and work our way across. So far, everything is looking really good. got a little ripple in that letter E, so you can just kind of press that back in there and it'll slowly disappear. Anywhere you have big letters, they'll be easy to do, but when you get to these thin letters with these little scriptive edges, really take your time. If you pull too fast and you're not paying attention, like this, right there, that letter will start to peel up. So there we go. We got that back on there. This is another reason it's nice to work with smaller strips when you're doing a large decal. When you cut your lines, you can cut like a pattern into it. Don't cut like necessarily a smooth straight line. That helps you match things up. All right. Oh. Okay, so now we're going to take that back. We're going to lay the smooth side against there and just press everything on. Be very careful not to scratch your wall, but use this to apply good pressure to your different decal elements. All right. So I think that went pretty well. That was real time, except for the first few that I had set up for you. So again, you can get something like this right off of Amazon, already pre-made. You can go to doityourselflettering.com is one I've used before. And I'll show you a really cool one we just got from our friends at RVTrampstamp.com. They do monograms and things. So let's check that out. There you can see we got this one from RVTrampstamps.com. They are members on some of the camping forums. You get to pick your various types, the 1 or 2 lines here, and in this case, S for our last name. So we're really happy with that, and that went on the same way. So both of those products, simple to install. Just make sure you clean everything really well and always follow the rules. All right, till next time, this is Rob. See ya.